Welcome, readers. Today on Book Chat, we'll be discussing the next book in our fantasy series, Rapture, written by J.R. Ward. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm so excited to share today's sponsor because you know I love a good mystery title. We even feature one right here on the podcast every single month. So I'm always on the hunt for the next read we can feature on the podcast. So when I had this opportunity to check out this website, I knew it was an absolute great find, and I also knew that I had to share it with you. Today's episode is sponsored by I Found This Great Book. It's a directory of Black mystery authors featuring over 580 titles. If you're a fan of audiobooks like me, browse the 175 books in the directory that are available in audio format. Browse by author, style of mystery, including hard-boiled, cozy, supernatural, and more, or even browse like in a bookstore and scroll through the books until you see cover art that jumps out at you. Visit the special link especially for Shelf Addiction listeners by visiting ifoundthisgreatbook.com/Shelf Addiction. Support Shelf Addiction by supporting our sponsor, so head on over to ifoundthisgreatbook.com/Shelf Addiction and peruse the directory of Black mystery authors. The link is also in the show notes. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Tamara Ford, and welcome to Book Chat here on the Shelf Addiction Podcast. Participate in this discussion by joining the Facebook group Shelf Addiction Official. I hope to hear your thoughts on today's topic. You can always find me and Casey on Twitter and Instagram. The links for everything I've mentioned are below in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please support this podcast by sharing it with some book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. That would really help me out, and I appreciate you for doing so. The uncut video version of this podcast is available now on Patreon. Join us there for exclusive videos, including after shows and more. So if you're interested in that at all, you'll need to come on over to Patreon and sign up. Without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back to another fantasy series read-along discussion. Today we are talking about the fourth book in the Fallen Angel series, Rapture. Joining me is my most favorite fantasy reader and co-host, Casey from Heart Full of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Yay, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that I'm your favorite.
Yes, because I'm looking forward to this, and I know you are going to bring some stuff with this book.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And you provide the most level of entertainment, and I love it.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Today's going to be fun, for sure.
Yes. So you guys, if you don't know, here are the stats for the book. Rapture was published September 25th, 2012 by New American Library, aka Now, I guess they go by. But you should also know this was the first book in the series that was not like a small publisher. Before it was Signet. And now this is a Penguin subsidiary.
Isn't Signet part of Penguin? Like, wasn't it a shoot off and then got canceled?
Yes, but this is like hardcover realm. So this was the point where people started complaining that these books were now expensive, and the ebook was now $14.99 versus $5.99 or whatever it was under Signet.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I'm like, yes, so the tide has changed. And also the audiobook publisher has changed. It was like Brilliance Audio before, and now it's Penguin Audio. So Penguin Audio is now doing the audiobook. The narrator is the same, Eric G. Dove, and it has an unabridged runtime of 12 hours, 4 minutes, and the mass market paperback is 512 pages, so these books are not getting any shorter.
No. Not at all.
Not at all. So, Casey, would you hit us up with the synopsis?
I will. Nels Carmichael, reporter for the Caldwell Courier-Journal, gets the shock of her life when a disheveled man stumbles in front of her car outside the local cemetery. She pays a visit to the stranger in the hospital, but the only thing he remembers of his past is seeing a name written on a headstone, that of Jim Heron, a fallen angel charged with rescuing souls from the 7 deadly sins. His amnesia is just the kind of mystery she likes to solve, but she soon discovers they're over their heads with his past. over their heads with his passion too. As shadows walk the line between reality and another realm, and her lover's memory begins to come back, the two of them learn that nothing is truly dead and buried. For as Mel struggles to help this mysterious stranger rediscover himself, Heron himself returns to prepare for a battle between good and evil, and Mel's and her love find themselves trapped in a no-holds-barred war between angels and demons. With a soul on the line and Mel's heart at risk, what in heaven or in hell will it take to save them both?
Dun, dun, dun. What will it take?
Okay, I want your opinion first, because I have mixed feelings about everything.
Okay, so when I got into this book, I was like, I really thought I liked this better before this installment. I just didn't really, and maybe it's just that I've evolved as a reader, but sometimes I don't like when they try to make bad people good. So I kind of was annoyed by that. What they did with, what's his face?
Matthias.
Matthias, yes. I was annoyed by it, and I thought it moved a little slower because the author was trying to... What is one? Okay, I think the author was trying to make us buy into liking Matthias, so I feel like it was extra wordy and extra this and extra that, because she wanted us to buy into it. And I had a hard time with that overall, and I had a hard time with the impotence and the relationship. Okay, look, let me just say this, okay? Let me say this, okay? I understand that things happen to people. And if I'm with someone and they become impotent, that's one thing. But if I am brand new to you, brand spanking new, and you are all kinds of damaged, only a certain kind of person can get with that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
A special kind of person.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I'm not that special kind of person.
I'm not either. So I both really liked and really hated this book at the same time. And I was laughing as I was reading it because I was like, I am going to argue with myself on the podcast about this. So, yeah.
I can see why.
I'm right there with you. Like, going back to the very beginning, the fact that this is Matthias is both really interesting and really fucking annoying at the exact same time. It's interesting because, yes, we're getting redemption. This is Davina's, punishment for fucking with the rules, and yay, God is on the angel side, and yada, yada, yada. Like, that's interesting, and I appreciate that. However, I really, really liked the fact that Matthias died and went to hell in book 2. I wish that J.R. Ward had left that alone. Like, 100% wish that Matthias never came back.
Yes.
Because this is villain redemption porn, almost. Like,
and he was a very bad villain. He
was evil. He was almost Davina style evil. And just to erase that with amnesia. Oh no, you're not bad. You were abused as a kid.
A little bit of childhood abuse. I say that a little bit, but that was horrible. It took some impotence, some memory loss, and a woman that just sweeps you off your feet, and all of a sudden you can make the right choices.
And you're cured, and you get to go to heaven, but not actually. You get to come back and be alive for a third fucking time.
Yes.
No.
I'm like, how many times do you get to come back? So not only did you get the do-over, you also get to demand, I'm going back to Earth to be with my woman. Really?
That's that noise.
That's what we're doing?
Furious. Like, yes, this is the romance. This is following the romance rules. I really appreciate that. Hail the genre. But fuck that noise. No. If anybody deserves to come back to life, it's fucking Eddie. And I will die on this hill.
You know what? I honestly
Eddie. We need
would
Eddie
not...
back. Eddie was in love with Adrian.
I agree with you, and that's a whole nother conversation. I need to talk about Eddie in a minute, but I'm like,
yeah. We'll
get there.
We'll
but
get to Eddie. I have more to say, but yeah, no, like this was villain redemption porn, and I really hate that she did this.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it and I enjoyed some of it, but I also really just like hate that it was Matthias.
I would have been okay with her breaking the happily ever after rules for this one, because technically, you know, he would have experienced love, so would have Mel's, and maybe Mel's could have had a different point of view on life or had like something, you know, positive come out of it, even though she wasn't with Matthias.
I would have really accepted and loved the fact that if, you know, she got into another car accident and wasn't wearing her seatbelt and died and then went to heaven and they got to spend eternity in heaven together. Because that was a whole thing about her refusing to wear a seatbelt. And that was a whole fucking thing that was just Mel as a character, or Mel's, excuse me, there was an S. Mel's as a character was really annoying. I don't think I could have ever like been friends with her. She was I need to appreciate the fact that she was fully developed character. She wasn't one-dimensional in the way that some characters are. J.R. Ward gave her depth and gave her explanations for her personality traits. That being said, she was really fucking annoying and I would never be friends with her, let alone like constantly just give her my car. Like Tony's just like, yeah, here, take my car, take my Twinkies. Why aren't we dating? We should be, you know, going steady now. Like, what the fuck?
He had a little crush on her, but she's like, we just friends, dude. Here's your breakfast sandwich. Thanks for letting me have the car. here's your breakfast.
The zombie look-alike. Let me go hook up with some zombies from the literal grave.
Yeah. I just, I guess, okay. So from one book to the next, I had said that the love interests were getting better. But in this time around, I did kind of believed it. Like it was kind of like fate-ish. Kind of, but I had a hard time believing that a perfectly capable woman, and like, look, I am not trying to be vain here, but I'm just keeping it real. A perfectly good, capable woman hits a man with the car, feels bad, wants to go see what happened to him, and you find out he's one-eyed, limping, scarred, marred. I mean, he don't know who he is. I mean, does that seem like marriage material? Like, oh yeah, I just couldn't quite make the leap to like all the way understand Mel's attraction to him. I just didn't quite get it.
Out of every love interest we've had so far, or love story, I should say, this one I believe the least. Like, I get not even trying to be vain. You're right. She hit this man with her car and then she's falling into bed with him like a day later when he has no memory of who he is or what he's done with his life.
Yeah.
And he was an evil villain. Like, remember when he murdered the childs and tried to, you know, he murdered the son and the daughter, and he even had her look it up here. And he's like, oh no, I did terrible things in my past. Woe is me. But I will save Jim Heron, who's an angel and can't actually die. But that gets me into heaven. That erases all of my really fucked up, terrible deeds. Like, no. One bullet does not negate all of the other people you murdered. This is
he did get off easy. He got off very easy.
Really easy. Way too easy.
Yeah, I don't understand how he was allowed to come back after, you know, he died the second time. I feel like he just should have been gone to heaven. Bye. And I would have accepted it more. But even though I didn't like that, I still found the story kind of interesting. I wasn't bored with it or anything. So I don't know. It's like
their story was really slow. I was more interested in Jim and Adrian and Davina. Davina played a slightly larger role. We got to see more of her OCD, which was amazing. I love all of the scenes with her counting her lipstick. Like, this
1,
makes
2,
me
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 13.
Yes.
Like, oh
lucky number 13. And she's constantly like digging through her purse and counting it, and her therapist is like, just throw one away. And she does, and then she immediately like goes out and steals more, and then she goes on a murderous rampage killing blondes, like,
which was
I
creepy.
loved all of that. It was so creepy,
but smart. I mean, at
really
first I'm like, what is Davina doing? Like, what is she? And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, she's trying to rub Heron the wrong way. That's what she's trying to do. Because if he's focused over here, he's not focused over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, it was. I love this book for Davina. Honestly, like, truly, I love this book for Davina. Everything that Matthias did, he got off way too easy. He did not deserve redemption.
He didn't.
Also, I want to talk about the fact that at the beginning of the book, they said this wasn't for a flag. This was only for his soul. But then at the end of the book, Jim's like, hey, I got this new flag from saving Matthias this time. But, you know, when did the flag come into play? The flag wasn't supposed to be here. The flag was already Davina's.
So wasn't he supposed to just get Davina's flag?
No, he couldn't. It was supposed to be her flag because she won, and you can't get flags over this. This was just supposed to be about saving Matthias's soul. This wasn't technically part of the game. But then I thought it was.
I thought it would make them even.
No, because
like it's a do-over because she cheated.
Maybe I read this wrong, but I thought that Nigel, or maybe it wasn't. I thought somebody said that, no, this is not for a flag. This is just because they were talking about personal property.
See, that's not how I've read it.
Afterward.
I feel like it was a quote unquote redo because she cheated, so he could actually get credit for it to kind of even out the score.
See, I thought it was not part of
because why would I do?
stuff.
I mean, no, Shay, but why would I do that if I get nothing for it? Like, we're trying to win this game, and all I'm thinking, if I'm Jim, I know if I win this game, Sissy gets free. So why am I running around trying to save Matthias' ass for nothing?
Right.
For nothing.
That's what I was thinking the whole goddamn time, because I thought it didn't fucking count. And then at the end, he has the flag. And then what the fuck does Jim do? What the fuck does Jim do?
I didn't like that either. I'm like, Jim, you
fucking imbecile. Excuse me. Like, I know I curse all the time, but I'm just like so angry right now.
Like, Davina is so smart for someone. So she is very smart, and she knows how to read all those jokers, all of them. Yes. And she played him. This
technically helped with this.
Yes. I mean, to give her an idea and she'll run with it. And she played him. So she got what she wanted out of him twice in this book. So, okay, first, I don't like that he gets mad and confronts Davina and they end up having sex because he was mad.
He had an angry boner.
Yes.
He wasn't horny. He was mad. So, of course, he has a boner. Like,
so
Jim, what is wrong with you?
I know he's lost it. I'm like, in one respect, like, it seems like he's on task, but he's not on task at all. And I'm like, he's still not looking at the bigger picture. He's still like, you're supposed to be concerned with all the souls down there, all the people in the world. If you lose, this goes bad for every fucking body, not just Sissy's ass. So I'm like, you are and I said this books ago, she is a clear blind spot for him. Clear. And he could possibly ruin everything because his hang up on this little girl.
Oh, yeah. And Davina obviously knows that. She has been poking at it, and she figured out in this book how to make him explode. And she did it. She played him like a fucking fiddle by murdering all those women to make it look exactly like his sissy, made him mad, got him to fuck her, 3 times in that boathouse?
Yeah.
And then this idiot just takes the flag and gives it to her. Like, hello, the fate of the world. Let's just give her a bonus point for doing absolutely nothing.
I know.
I hope Sissy comes out of here and just kicks his ass. Be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yes, hell is awful and I was being eaten by demons, but I don't want my mother to go through this. I don't want my sisters or my friends to go through this. Like, you idiot.
Yeah, and I don't understand really how he can reason, like how he thinks he can reason with Davina, because first off, I feel like what he asked for was almost like asking, you know how you hear stories about you be careful what you ask for, right? Like when you ask for wishes, you need to be very careful in how you ask. When you ask things of the Fae, you need to be very specific in how you ask.
Oh, yes.
All he said was, give me Sissy, or I want Sissy, or some shit. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of gray. That's a lot of gray.
There is, yes. Oh,
like,
yes. Because Davina might, pretend to be Sissy. Davina might give him Sissy and then take her back 5 seconds later.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm like, why would you ask in that way? So you're not even smart. If you're going to make a trade like that, be smart about it. Like, I feel like that was not smart the way he handled that. And I'm like, I'm sure he's not going to get what he thinks he's going to get.
No, he's not. And he should have asked for a whole lot more than just Sissy for that flag. He should have asked for all of the names of every future soul that they have to fight over. He should have, obviously, yes, Sissy is his weak point and he wants Sissy and he can't focus without Sissy and he's still wearing that goddamn necklace. But, you go to somebody, you want $1 million, you ask for 10 million and then you work your way down and you might walk away with 3 or 4 million, even though you only wanted 1. And they think they got the deal because they didn't give you 10 million. Like, ask for a lot more.
Yeah.
And you get.
Which drives me nuts. He acts like this. He does these dumbass things, but then he chews Adrian out for getting some. Okay? Leave his ass alone. He protected the room. Let him do what he want to do. Leave his ass alone. Like,
he was having happy, consensual sex with a human woman who is not Davina. Leave Adrian alone.
Leave him alone.
He needed that release.
Right. Let him do what he gonna do.
Yeah.
Why are you cursing him out and you making worse choices than he is? I don't know. Jim rubbed me the wrong way in this book. He kind of has been doing things here and there, but I'm like, I kept thinking he'll get it. He'll get it. He'll get his shit together. But this just made me realize he doesn't get it at all.
He doesn't. And I haven't read the series before, but this almost makes me feel like Davina could possibly win. Like, she could fucking win.
She could win. She could.
And
I don't know.
I would almost be okay with that. Like, I respect the hell out of Davina. She knows how to play this game. She knows how to play these men. She knows how to play Jim. And she gets exactly what she wants. And she has her little OCD and her counting lipsticks. And I just love that so much.
What a mess. She's a fun character. She's a fun villain. Like, she's bad to the bone. And there's it just is what it fucking is. And you expect the worst out of her and she delivers it. That's what I can appreciate about J.R. Ward writing her, is that she's very consistent with Davina. And appreciate that greatly because she's kind of like all over the place with some of the other characters, but she's consistent with Davina.
Davina is beautifully executed, like on every level. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like she was the star of this book. I read this book and enjoyed this book for Davina, who is the bad guy. But I'm like, yeah, go Davina, go. Go, girl, go. Count your lipsticks. Go
she's
to therapy.
The bad girl. She's the bad demon you love to hate, right? Like,
still doesn't mean I would fuck her with a hate boner, but
I wouldn't, but I feel like, you know what, Jim, you gonna be so dumb. Oh, well, she got you. She got you. You're bad because you dumb. I don't know.
It's so annoying and frustrating. And my only hope is that Sissy's going to come out and rip him a new one. I hope she's not going to be the shy, virginal girl that he like pictures. I hope she comes out and is like, you stupid fucking asshole. I hope that is my hope for the next book.
Like,
see if it happens.
I don't know, I like that whole thing when Matthias was remembering, oh, I was in hell. I was with other people and it was miserable, and he's like, it was a blonde that didn't belong. And Jim was losing his mind. I'm like, oh, this is over. It's over. He's like, what's her name? What happened? And I'm like, oh, God. And then when he figures out that Matthias saw him on the table, he's like, that means she saw me on the table. Ah! He's losing his shit. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, he was losing it.
So bad. It was so bad. This man.
Oh, he was losing his mind about that. And
he was.
Again, I don't understand why. What is the connection you have with this girl, young woman, that you don't know from a hole in the wall, literally, other than the fact that she was sacrificed by Davina?
It's some kind of like virginal antithesis of him that just like pulls on every string in his DNA, I guess. Like, I don't get it either. But, she's everything he's not. She's young, she's blonde, she's pretty, she's a virgin. She never killed anybody. She was never in the Marines or the Army or the special whatever. Like, she's not an assassin. The way he is, like, he feels dark and dirty and dead inside, and she's the antithesis of all of that. But it's still so frustrating and stupid. And
it is. And he's fucking Davina. So you're not on the table, but you keep having sex with the thing. She's a thing.
You know she's what she is. You have told her you would never fuck her, but here you are. She knows how she can control you. Congratulations.
And it's hilarious. Like, Davina is like, I thought I was getting somewhere with my man, and he keeps going against me. I'm like, oh my God.
He lied to me. He dissed me. We'll show him. And then she fucking does. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, yes. Get him.
Yeah. She does. She's like, I'm going to get you. She like, I will win and you will be in my arena at the end of this.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. All right, y'all. I think it's a good time to take a quick break. Check out some words from our sponsors. Don't forget to check out the book review journal and the reading challenge tracker notebook, available now on Amazon. You guys click the links in the show notes, and we'll be right back. To Today's episode is brought to you by the Shelf Addiction merch store. Check out all the bookish t-shirts, notebooks, mugs, and more. Don't miss out on these original designs, perfect for any book nerd. Support the podcast and visit shelfaddiction.com/merch and pick up your next favorite bookish item. All right, guys, we are back. We are going to finish out this conversation and rate this book. All right. So okay, I want to talk about... Yeah, go ahead. You go.
I was going to say, do you remember in the last book when I said I had a theory about dog and how I thought dog was God? And now I'm right. I'm so right. Yes. Oh, my God.
And you know what? It's funny. I read my review from this book. And I apparently thought the same thing because I was right. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I was right about dog. That's all I said. I was like, oh.
As soon as Matthias came back and he's like, yeah, I met the maker. He said he liked turkey sandwiches. I put the book down and screamed, oh my God, I was right.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy. Like, this is like right below Davina. This is the highlight of the fucking book. The highlight of the series. I love that dog is God. But also,
I kind of am annoyed by it.
Why the fuck is he bringing Matthias back, but not Eddie?
I know. So first, I'm annoyed that the maker is just around watching this fiasco. And he's just witnessing, I guess. He's not really participating actively. He just eating his turkey sandwiches and whatever else he can eat. And trying to make people feel good with his cute wag a tail or some shit.
And he makes Jim carry him around and he sleeps on the bed and wants to be held.
Maybe he has some kind of like soothing effect on Jim or something. I don't know.
Well, it's not helping because Jim goes and fucks Davina.
I know it's not helping. So I'm like, why are you there exactly? Like, what are you doing other than just watching?
I think that's it.
At the end of the book, like, dog is with Matthias. Like, you know, at the end, like, well, I guess the dog came first and then, you know, he came. Yeah. But they're at, you know, Mel's house. And they're like, it's everyone's dog. Do you have something for him to eat? She's like, okay.
Yeah, no, that was weird.
I'm like, why is he here? Why is he here? Like, to make sure... I don't know.
Jim's down in hell and Adrian's crying over Eddie and he doesn't want to see that. I don't know. They left him alone for a while when they were in the hotel and they couldn't bring him. Like, he got left.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, that was kind of weird. But one thing I did like was the fact that it was in the background and we didn't really know this was happening until Davina expressed her anger. So, you know, she was trying to get in there and muck things up a little more when it seemed like Matthias was going to do the right thing. But she couldn't do what she wanted to do because Nigel was hanging around in the bushes.
Yes. Yes. He was around the entire time. And Matthias noticed him when she was at breakfast.
Yeah.
And Matthias, he's like, there's some weird man in like a 3-piece suit that's kind of like old timey. And I was like, is that Nigel?
Yeah.
Is that Colin? Is that one of the angels? Because they all wear suits and look old.
Yeah. So they were down there, like, not really intervening. Well, intervening without doing anything, because I guess if they're standing there, she can't do shit. Like, she's like, I can't do anything. They're standing right there. So I think that Jim's side had a lot of help in getting this to do the right thing.
Yes, I think there was a lot more help. Did you notice at one point when Jim and Matthias were standing out on the sidewalk, 6 men walked by and they were all decked out in leather and coats and they looked like badasses, and it's like,
BDB?
Yes, that's exactly who I thought walked by. And I was like, when are we going to get this crossover? Because Mel's uses, what's her name's former desk and coffee mug from Dark Lover. her name Beth.
Beth.
Is her name Beth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's brought up again. Detective De La Cruz, again,
Yes.
from Dark Lover, brought up again. Mel's was trying to work on how all these people are just disappearing and never reappearing again because, they're being eaten by vampires or being killed by the bad guys and the lessers. Yeah, thank you. Like, this book really had a lot more ties back to the Black Dagger Brotherhood. So I'm hoping that the next book or the next two books really pull that in, or that maybe she'll do more crossover.
Let me just say, though, when I first read these, I hadn't read the BDB books. So these things were happening, but I didn't know the connection. So now I'm seeing the connective tissues, and I didn't before. Before, these things were just happening and like, okay, so, but these little drops of, of that world in there are definitely noticeable because I have read those books. So if you haven't read,
they moved into at the end, was that the Black Dagger Brotherhood house or was that something else? Because it's been,
I think it's something else because the BDB, their mansion is like really huge, like with wings and stuff.
I thought it might still be their house, like they were still there because it's been so long since I've read that series. But I was like, is this another tie that I'm not thinking about or forgetting or whatever? But
maybe it was one of the houses that like the king came to see people in, or one of those offshoot houses that he had an audience. How he does.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe it was one of those type of houses, but it wasn't their living quarters because every time I read about that mansion, it sounds so huge. All those couples are staying in this place and like they have the training center and it's a huge, massive place. And I think that place is too small.
Yeah, no, this one was definitely,
it was big,
only
but not
8
that big.
bedrooms.
Right.
So tiny with their 8 bedrooms. But I was, the woman on the phone wasn't asking for references. She was just happy to like take the cash for it. And I was like, okay, this is probably a connection that I'm missing. But
there could be a connection. Maybe this is just one of their ways to make money. So they just kind of, I don't
rent
know.
out the houses.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. But so I did want to talk about like Eddie a little bit because it kind of bothered me. I'm like, why is his body still on Earth? Like, what is happening? Like, why is his ass just dead in a closet still? Like, I don't understand what they're doing. Like, he better be coming back if his ass is just chilling in a closet. I don't really understand.
He better be fucking coming back. Again, if Matthias can come back for 3 fucking times, then Dog can goddamn well bring back fucking Eddie. Like, Eddie fed him. You can give him life again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I have a feeling he won't. But
and isn't degrading. I don't. He's kind of living in the dream world because there was that one scene where Adrian was having a dream and Davina was there, but Eddie showed up and it was the real Eddie.
Yeah, he kind of bust into that dream to help him a little bit, but I don't know. It's
so his
weird.
Spirit is still around. It's but so not, weird, but not. Weird. Yeah, it's
because it's not in the real world. They're not interacting with him on a spiritual level, and when they're awake,
they just miss him and think about him. Sometimes they smell that flower smell that comes off his dead body, which is so weird. Like, I'm glad he's not rotting, but why does he have to smell like flowers? Why does he have to have this perfume smell going on?
The lesser smell like baby powder, so I guess maybe fallen angels will smell like something else.
I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
I guess better that than a deceased dead body smell.
Yeah. Yeah, like if he was rotting, they would not be like, let's pack him up in the car and drive him to the new house.
Oh, that is so weird to me. Like, why is his body still there? I don't like it.
Can't let him go. But yeah, no, and now that they all know that Dog is God, they should be like, all right, Eddie, Bring him back.
Hey, dog, you're supposed to be trying to help us out, right? How about you help that out?
Give him a second chance at life and love and happiness. You gave this evil villain 3 tries.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I mean, obviously, by some miracle, Adrian and Jem made it through their disagreements without beating the hell out of each other. But it would
kind of beat each other up again,
I know,
but it wasn't as bad.
They walked away. They walked away from it.
Jim still goes for the nuts, but then he
does.
Off.
He gets a one good time, and he like, oh my God, hits the ground, like on the knees. Like, well, he couldn't protect those, but I guess maybe they have to learn how to be without him. Then maybe they'll get him. Maybe.
No, they need him. I don't know. There's so many weird things about this series that I just want to make sense, but they don't make sense. And
I just think J.R. Ward doesn't exactly know what to do with Jim yet. Like, I feel like she knows what to do. Like, the fallen angels have their role. The angels have their role. Obviously, Davina is very well developed. I'm sure Davina was talking to her, quote unquote, throughout this whole thing.
Oh, yes.
But Jim is the loose end. It's like she doesn't quite know what to do with him. So he falls back on these, the whole sissy thing. It's like he can't grow. Like, she won't let him grow past that for some reason. So it better pay off in like a good way or a major way. Otherwise, it's going to be all for nothing.
I mean, to be fair, this has only been a couple weeks for him since the start of the game. Like, before, he was just a construction worker trying to hide from Matthias and his assassin career. And now he's like fighting for the world. And so people don't change over a couple weeks.
Matthias did in 2 days.
This is true. This is very true. But he had amnesia
for what, the first 12 hours, and then things start coming back.
I don't know. Maybe Sissy will be the love that changes him, but I don't want that.
I don't want that. That's not a romantic love. It shouldn't be a romantic love.
No, it is very creepy and almost controlling. And I want Sissy to come out and just start yelling at him. Yeah, like, fuck off, agree. You crazy psycho. Let's go save the world.
I just can't. I mean, Jim is just the most. I think it would be gross if him and Miss Sissy somehow hooked up or got together. I don't think I would like it at all. I'm not sure. I don't know. So she gets free, and then what? He will feel like his job is done? But
no,
the world can go to hell?
Protect her.
And then she'll go back there?
She can't go home because they found her body. No. So her parents think she's dead. So what is she supposed to do?
Go to heaven, I guess. But if he would win the fucking war, she would go to heaven. It's
it's annoying. It's frustrating. I guess what J.R. Ward is trying to do is really highlight the fact that Jim straddles the line on good and evil. Like Davina said, she thought he was going to be more evil than he has been in the last 3 books. And she signed off on him being, the savior because she thought he was more evil. But he's been really, really good. He's been really pro-angel, pro-save the world. He's been obsessed with virginal Sissy. Like, he fell into the hero role. And maybe this book is him, showing his true colors and how he doesn't really want to be the hero, or he doesn't want to be the good guy. I don't know. He
wants to be the hero for Sissy. We know
for
that
Sissy,
at least.
Yes. But does he care about the rest of the world? Does he care about Sissy's parents and how they're going to survive hell when he loses the game?
I don't know, because it's like, it makes you think that's all he cares about is her. How to, oh, well, the world can burn after that. But he's like not even thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, because what happens to Sissy when the world goes to hell? She goes back. Oh,
she goes back. And Davina is going to like rip into her 10 times harder.
I don't know. He is not thinking. He's not thinking.
He's not.
And I wish he were more strategic. Last book we had like a tease of him possibly thinking. The way he cheated. He's like, bitch, I will never fuck you. And here he is, right here.
Couple days later,
I'm like, oh, the little sliver of hope I had in the last book has been decimated in this book as far as Jim is concerned.
Yes. Like, I don't really have hope for Jim winning this game. I think it is going to fall to Nigel and Colin and Adrian and fucking Dog to get Jim to pull his head out of his ass and try to save some more people to beat Davina.
Although I don't think he'll ever talk to the Maker like man to man, quote unquote, or person to person. I don't think he'll ever like talk. He can talk to the dog all he wants, but the dog's not responding.
Yeah, no, I think their relationship will stay purely man and dog, and they'll pick him up and carry him out to go pee and sleep in the same bed together. Like,
I mean, look, if I found out that the mutt that I brought home was the Maker, I'd be like, you know what? Take care of yourself since you got me out here looking crazy. You figure out your own turkey sandwiches. You know where the bathroom is. Deuces. Like, you got me out here looking crazy. At least help.
Yeah.
Shit.
At least help. Yes, do something. Give us Eddie back, for God's sakes. Like,
I don't know why, like, the good team always has to get all the short sticks. It's like, why does the good team always have to struggle, the struggle bus? Like,
I don't know.
Like, can we get some like straight up good wins without like this loser? So it's like we won the game, and then the loser quarterback goes and throws it away. I'm like, what? This is the finals, and you just gave the game away? You an idiot.
Yep.
Unless he's got a bigger plan, but I don't know.
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
I don't think Jim has been able to plan for anything in the future. Like, he has no idea whose soul is next. He has no hints whatsoever. He barely scraped by and saved Matthias, and it was really just Mel having sex with him that saved him.
Oh, wait. Speaking of that, speaking of the sex, okay, so, okay, I'm not mad at the fact that, he was focused on her, right? I get it. That could be fun, but that don't go so far, I think. But,
yeah, I mean, it did not feel believable. No. Their love story did not feel believable at all. She did not seem like the type of person to fall in love with anybody, let alone a strange man she's met twice.
And she keeps referring to as similar to her father, which I find gross.
Very creepy. Her father was not a good man. There was that line where she's like, oh yeah, he was an old school cop. If he was around today with all of the cameras and stuff, he would have been fired a long time ago. And I was like, oh, yes, that kind of cop. Old school with the air quotes and everything, who doesn't want to be recorded. Yeah, we know who he is.
Oh, yeah, we do.
So we know why you were attracted to this villain.
Yeah, she likes the bad guy. She likes the bad boy, I guess.
Which is so stupid.
And weird because she was so high and mighty about stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, very, very suspicious, very weird. Did not like her. Was just very, and the way she treated her mother, like, I'm very glad she came to terms with that and got better about it.
She did an about face real fast, and she's like, "Love you, mom." Bye. The mother's
Mm-hmm.
like, twice in one day, she's saying, "I love you" to me.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
was,
she treated her
and
mother
the
like
sex,
trash.
she
Oh,
did.
oh,
Yeah, the
okay. So
sex.
the sex wasn't that great to me. And then of course Adrian has to go and absorb his injuries so he can have one more good
Mm-hmm.
time with his lady. I'm like, okay, look here, Adrian. The fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Right,
and Jim's
right.
like, is it permanent? You don't know? Like, what did you do to yourself? Okay. Well,
How is Adrian supposed to fight off these demon monsters if, he's now crippled and can't stand and
I
needs
guess
a
Davina
cane to
won't
walk
want him.
around? I guess he's safe now. So I had a funny thought. Um, so we saw our hero and heroine kind of have sex, and we saw Adrian have sex in the hallway. We did not see Jim and Davina have sex. We just saw the aftermath. And as I read that, I was like, I wonder if J.R. Ward wrote it, but it was way too hot, like eclipsing everybody else having sex in this book. And
So
then
he
if
took it
she
out.
did include it, then it would just be like, oh yes, these little humans over here trying to have sex is not working, and it's not hot or erotic at all. Let's watch these two like destroy themselves and these boats and all of it. Like, I was like,
they probably took it out because they knew they'd have Jim and Davina, people like hearting them or whatever you call it, like
shipping them.
Shipping them,
like,
yeah.
I almost kind of ship them. Obviously, she's really evil, but I love her, and he has a lot of issues.
Look, I will never ship any relationship where if you take off the outer skin, you look like that bitch. No. I'm sorry. That's awful.
Fun pairing. I don't necessarily want them to end up together forever, but I think I wouldn't. I don't know. Like, I argue with myself over this. I really do, because I love Davina. Jim, I like on occasion when he's not being an idiot. I just feel like their sex scenes would have been like melt your eyeballs hot.
Possibly.
Jared Ward was like, I can't. Matthias and Mills can't compare. They're rolling around on a hotel bed, giving head and using 2 condoms. Like, this is so blasé vanilla. She had to make them look better, and so she cut out Jim's scene.
I mean, she had to make that seem like Mel's got the best oral in her life on Earth ever, and it was the best. I'm like, okay, well,
I mean, it was like the first time he got head in years, so I don't know.
And I don't usually go, ooh. But I mean, honestly, one of those scenes, that first time they hooked up, and Mel got all the attention, basically. I was like, how long is this gonna go? Like,
well, he said he could go all night.
I'm like,
I wonder if he
just
really
stop.
can.
I mean, just stop after. Sorry, who can do that all night? Just stop, okay? just, God. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm like, stick your tongue back in your mouth, sir.
Tongues and fingers, they can last forever. An erection only lasts so long.
like, shit, they didn't even bring out no toys or nothing. I mean, okay.
They didn't have time for toy
I
shopping.
guess.
Unless it's down in the 24-hour gift shop at the hotel. Oh my God.
Because I'm like, and I was thinking this during the book. I'm like, well, I guess they could get creative with some shit, but they need to buy some stuff.
Yes, as they run around, looking for murderers, they're also going to buy sex toys.
I mean, that's only the right thing to do. I'm just saying.
I mean, yes, they definitely need it.
Oh gosh, I'm killing myself over here. I swear, it just did not. I don't know.
Like the two of them, they had the least believable romance out of everybody in this entire series so far. There wasn't really any chemistry or passion, despite the blurb that I read. Like it felt like there was a lot of guilt on her part, associating him with her dad and realizing, she put her life on pause after her dad died, and she had to look after her mom, even though she resented and hated her mom. They were so bland.
Yeah,
they were just bland. They were like Wonder Bread bland. Like there was just nothing there. And yeah, so Jim and Davina destroying that boathouse, even though they're both messed up and she's evil and should not work. Like, I don't know. They have a lot more chemistry than Mel's could ever wish for or hope to have.
She's so bland.
I did not like her at all.
She's just bland. I don't know, girl. Like,
she had depth and she had reasoning, and I can appreciate that from like an editorial standpoint. Like you knew why she was doing what she was doing. She isn't the perfect heroine. She's not the virginal heroine. Like I can appreciate that from an editorial standpoint. But from a reader's standpoint, I was like, fuck this bitch. Wear your goddamn seatbelt. Like, why are you making this a thing? This is so stupid.
I would have rather her been like, almost like, or the two of them almost been like a Bonnie and Clyde character. Like, together, like, let's, try to solve this thing. And maybe if she was out there shooting guns with him or, I don't know. I just felt like, if their dynamic was a little different, it would have been like, okay,
Yes. Oh, yes. No, if she had like been law enforcement or something.
Yeah.
If she had been anything but a reporter, and she wasn't even a really good reporter.
No, she was like a junior level reporter, like an average ass reporter. Like she had the scoop of the lifetime and she gave it away to another press. She gave it away. She gave away 2 stories. She gave one to her coworker. And then the bigger story with the disk drive, she gave that away to a major publication because she didn't think she could do it justice.
And also she didn't want, what's his name, Matthias, to think that she was using him for the story. Like, no, honey, no.
F you, I'm using this story.
This is your career. This is the scoop of a lifetime.
I'm like, and plus technically his ass is dead, right? So, I mean, why not? I don't know. Okay.
No.
Anything else you did not care for in this installment?
I'm sure I could keep ripping it apart. Like, as I was reading this book, I would read a scene and I'd be like, okay, I liked it. Like the opening scene where Matthias wakes up on the grave and he's butt-ass naked and he's like, gotta run away from the demons. And so he breaks in and he steals the clothes and he hops the fence. Like, it was interesting and I liked it. And, meeting Mel's and she's like, this is who I am and I'm unapologetic about it. And I was like, okay, I like this. And then the next scene would be like, oh my God, you guys are so boring. What is happening? And this book felt shorter almost just because like there wasn't as much plot between the two of them. It was just insta love because I hit you with my car.
I hit you with my car and fell in love.
Yeah, hit you with my car. Bam. I don't know. Like it is. I could keep ripping it apart, but I'm not going to.
All right, so clearly this was not the best in series.
No. No.
I guess the one thing it did do is manage to move the plot forward a little bit, because now we know that, you know, this is book 4 out of 7. I think there's 7, right?
It's 6 or 7. I don't know.
6 or 7. Yeah, I can't remember. So we're past we're on the downslope now. So I don't know. I feel like things have got to get interesting again. Like this was almost a throwaway, I feel like, this book.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yes, absolutely. There were a couple points you needed to see, like dog is God. We needed to see Jim lose his fucking mind over Sissy at the end. Everything else, well, I kind of like that Nigel was here, because that has been a thorn in Jim's side from the beginning. They're like, oh, Nigel will never help me, but here he is helping. So there were some key pieces that were good to see, but overall, no, this was a throwaway book.
6. Yeah, you're right. 6 books.
Okay.
So there's 2 more to go. So, I mean, obviously, shit's got to pick up. He's got a new soul next time around. He's got to have a new soul. People have to chew him out for giving that round away. Somebody better chew him out for doing it. We got to figure out what's going on with Eddie.
His shoes. Yes, we got to figure out Eddie.
And what happens to the deal he made? What happens? Do we actually see Sissy again in the way that he is expecting, or do we get some other shit? I feel like it's going to be some other shit. I feel like he's not going to get what he thinks.
Yes.
He's not going to get what he thinks he will. So, all right, let's rate this book. Let's rate it.
Okay.
Would you like to go first?
I have no idea what to rate it.
Okay, so I'll go first.
Yeah, go first. Go first.
I did look up my rating on Goodreads after I finished it, and I read my review. And I'm like, wow, I really enjoyed it the first time around. I really, surprisingly, felt like I sympathized or empathized, with Matthias the first time around. I don't know why. But again,
I mean, I can see that. Like,
and I did read it in 2013, to be fair. But I did, and I think that Ward tried to make us like feel for the villain, and I thought apparently back then that she was successful in that, and I feel a little different now. So back then, I liked a lot more about it, and I rated a 4 out of 5. So as I wrote a pretty long damn review on this book. I'm like, damn, it's been a long time since I wrote a review that long. But now this time around, this is the first time I'm going to deviate from my original rating. I would give this one a 3 this time around. The first time I didn't address the pacing at all. Clearly, I liked a lot more and the pacing didn't bother me. But it was a little slower this time. And I didn't really like, Matthias being like, free Willie. Like, okay, you gone. You can do what you want. I just didn't like it as much. I still liked it, but I feel like I was nitpicking things definitely in a different way than I did the first read.
Oh, yeah. See, I can absolutely see rating it a 4-star. Like, there were parts that I really appreciated, and I can appreciate, the villain redemption arc, even though I did not like it and I did not appreciate it myself. Like, I can understand that. So I could see rating it a 4-star. But there was so much that just annoyed me. Like, Mel's and her entire character, Matthias, the villain arc, Jim being a butt face. Like, there's so much. And so I keep going back and forth between a 3-star and a 2-star, which really deviates, because I've been rating everything 4-star. And J.R. Ward is a fantastic writer. I read all of this really fast. I did laugh. I did cry. Like it evokes emotions.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with a 2-star because
Wow.
I
That's
know.
bad. That's bad.
I don't like the main characters at all. And that's like the main point of the story is the two of them. It is supposed to be the main point of the story. And I do not like them. I absolutely love Davina. If it was just about Davina, I might give it a 4-star. But no, I think like just going with my gut, I'm going to give it 2 stars. I don't think I would ever reread this book. If I read the series again, I'll just skip
so
it.
if we were not doing a read along, would you stop here, or are you still interested to see what's next?
I'm still interested. I love Davina. I'm upset with Jim, but I want to know what's coming. And I know that Matthias and Mel's will disappear off the face of the earth and we'll never see them again. So I would pick up the next book and read it. If we weren't doing this read along, I would keep reading.
Okay.
Yeah, they were so boring. It was so boring.
It was a lot. It was a lot more.
There was no passion. There was no, it was a lot of guilt. A lot of white people issues, like it just. Yeah. And the fact that she's like, oh yeah, my dad was old school cop. He was the best. Love him. Oh yeah, my lover is just like my dad. Love him. Like there was just
I'd be grossed out if I had someone that I thought was like my father. Ew, nasty. Nasty to me.
Yeah, no, that was not good. So yes, I'm going with 2 stars just because I could not stand Mel's and Matthias, but I will keep reading. Davina, Davina saved this book. She is the villain, but she saved this book. And I want to know what she does next.
Look, I'm telling you, Davina is like the best damn villain I've read in a long time. And when she showed up in the BDB books, I was like, it's Davina, that bitch, she's back. I was so excited.
This makes me want to go read the entire BDB series to get back to her.
Yeah.
Start at book 1 because that's, the first 4 are the best. Maybe skip a couple in the middle. Go to book 20, find Davina because
it took a long time before she appeared. But when she did it, they didn't say who it was. It was just how she described what happened to the guy. It described him down in hell, in a dungeon situation, being things done to him. He was tied to a table. And I'm like, damn, that's Davina. I know it. And then they have her in one of the final scenes, I guess she's walking with her heels. Click, 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 clack. I'm like, that bitch is back. I'm like, oh, I knew it was her.
Yes. You've written an amazing character when you can just say she's walking in high heels and everybody's like, that's Davina. We know who she is.
Yes. After she tortures somebody on her torture table in hell. Lord. All right, y'all. We're going to end things there. Next month, Possession is book 5. Make sure you are right back here to hear us talk about it. Or if you want to talk about it with us, join us for book club. Join Shelf Addiction Official on Facebook or book clubs with a Z. Both links are in the show notes. We'd love to have you.
We have fun in all of the groups and in book club.
Yeah.
What happens in book club stays in book club, you guys.
100%. So it is a safe space, y'all. No, it's a safe space. Come on over and talk to us. But if book club is your thing, don't worry. We'll be right back here. You can hear us, give our 2 cents. Or
Rant
4.
And rave. And
yes. All right. That's it, guys. So Merry Christmas. Actually, when this goes up, it's after Christmas. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year, you guys.
Everybody.
And we'll see you in 2022. Take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction official Facebook group, where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.